Happy Wednesday. It is Vlogmas Day 7, so welcome. I've been sitting here knitting on my hollyberry socks, just waiting for the furnace to kick off so I could record. Earlier this morning, I got the first sock to the point where I need to do the heel. And I'm not too far behind on the second sock. I just have several more stripes to do. I actually overshot the heel placement on this sock by a couple of stripes and I had to take it back. I had guesstimated before I went to bed last night where I would need to quit, and obviously my math was wrong. And because I want to get 2 pairs of socks out of this one skein, I didn't want to make the cuffs any longer than necessary, and that's why I didn't just leave them. Ordinarily, I would have just, made my leg a half an inch longer. But yeah, I only want to use up half this skein. So that's feeling good. Looking forward to putting some heels into here. And then as I had planned yesterday, I did do the, whoops, my yarn and needles are tangled here. I did put the tree motif into my second evergreen sock, and I also added 20 more rows to it. Put this really cute teapot and teacup progress keeper on it. And then I also put 20 more rows in my first sock. I love how these are knitting up, and you can see the trees okay. They're not as crisp and clear as they would be on like a more solid yarn, but I actually think they look fine. When I knit my initial first sock, I had just brought the pattern up on my iPad, but I got tired of switching back and forth between what I was watching on my iPad and the pattern, so I decided to print off the pattern instructions for the second sock. And when I did so, I realized there was an add-on to the pattern in, if you wanted to make your socks more Christmassy. And the add-on includes putting beads on the trees. So it was a little late for this pair of socks, but maybe I'll knit them in the future with some colored beads to decorate my Christmas trees. So these have about another 1.5 inches to go before I'm going to do the heel. When I do a short row heel like I'm going to do for these socks, I like to make my legs 8 inches long, and when I do a traditional heel flap and gusset, I make them 7 inches long. I had a viewer recently ask me, how do I get so much sock knitting done? And one answer is that I'm often knitting when I should probably be doing other things like housework. But at the same time, I also knit every chance I get. So even, for instance, if I'm cooking dinner, if I put the potatoes on to boil, I'll set the timer for 5 minutes and I'll sit down and knit for 5 minutes. And then if I know my next step is going to be 10 minutes into the cooking of the potatoes, I'll go turn down the potatoes, and then I'll set the timer for 10 minutes and I'll knit for 10 minutes, and then I'll go back and do whatever else I have to do for maybe 5 minutes, and I'll come back and sit for 5 minutes, rather than just kind of standing around waiting for the potatoes to cook or whatever. So yeah, the phone rings, put the thing under my, crook the phone in under my ear and knit, or things like that. I just knit whenever I get the chance. If I'm editing videos, just watching at that point, I have a sock on my lap and I just knit when I can. So yeah, I guess I'm not a super quick knitter as in like the actual process of knitting, but I do knit a lot, and I do knit every chance I get. If I'm going to be 10 minutes in the car, I take my sock, knit on it in the car. So that's how I get so much sock knitting done. Other projects, they tend to take a little longer. So my plans for the day involve some sewing. Last year I had made a tree skirt and then this table runner out of some Christmas fabric. I actually think, if I remember correctly, I think I sewed this up on Christmas Eve last year. I had originally bought this fabric intending to make a Christmas quilt. But then I decided I would get more use out of table runner and tree skirt and some placemats. And so my plan for today is to sew another table runner. This one will be for my coffee table. So I made this table runner, I don't know, a year or two ago for our kitchen table. And I have a charm pack that I'm going to use to make another one. So this is called Morris Holiday. It's from Moda, and it says metallics exclusively for Moda from the V&A archives. That's Victoria and Albert. It's beautiful fabric. So yeah, I'm gonna make one of these today. I think I can do it in a day. And then I also had bought jelly roll, so I have lots of the jelly roll left over. So somehow I'm going to combine the leftover charms and jelly roll to make some placemats. And I've got tons of this backing fabric because I had bought enough to back, and I don't think I was going to bind my quilt in it. I think I have a different fabric for binding. Yeah. This one this is leftovers from my tree skirt. So anyway, I'll play with what I have left and see what I can make. Then this evening I am going over to our younger son's house, his name's Colin, and play a game called Spirit Island, which I've never played before. When we went over to Colin's place on the weekend, our other son, Matt, and his wife, Stephanie, were there. And at the moment, Stephanie was working on report cards, but I guess the three of them had earlier been playing this game. And then Matt and Colin were in the middle of another game of it. And I expressed an interest in it and a desire to learn. And so Colin texted me yesterday to see if I wanted to go over and play tonight. So I think it's going to be Matt and Steph and Colin and I. I'm not sure if anyone else is coming. I know they sort of have a tradition of a Wednesday game night that they get together for, so we'll see. I'm also gonna make some cinnamon buns, I think, this afternoon. I'm kind of craving them, and Cameron doesn't really like them, eat them, so I very rarely do that sort of baking because it's not like I need to eat it all or can eat it all on my own. So I'll take some cinnamon buns over with me tonight, and then that way I can enjoy some without having to worry about eating the whole pan. Okay, let's find out what tea is in store for today. Oh, here's day 7. It's in the opposite corner of yesterday's day 6. All right, today's tea, ooh, I'm gonna like this one. Organic orange spice. Oh, I bet this smells good. Oh, it smells really good. I think I can smell cinnamon, maybe some clove. Oh, does it ever smell good? I really like spicy teas. This might be nice made up as a chai. I think I'm gonna try it that way. Let's see what's in it. Whoops. organic orange spice. Where are you? Oh, here it is. Oh, it's a green tea. Has organic cinnamon, organic green tea, organic orange peel, organic cloves, natural cinnamon and orange flavoring, organic chili pepper. Well, smells amazing. It sounds amazing. So I am looking forward to trying that one, either this afternoon or maybe later this morning. All right. I think that brings us to the socks of the day. I'm not in quite as much a hurry today because I put on yesterday's socks when I got dressed this morning. I think it's where I'm sitting over here. For some reason, there's just more of a draft than where I had my usual spot on the other side of the room. All right, so today's socks I called a slice of Christmas pie, and that's pie, P-I, because these are knit out of Fiber Nymph Dye Works Christmas pie colorway, and that is Christmas pie with P-I and then E in brackets. So it's on the bounce base, and how Lisa does her pie colorways is it's based on the numeric sequence of pi. So I know it starts 3.14, and then after that I have no idea. So every stripe is based on the numerical sequence, so there's no repeating in the colorway. So this colorway, I think this is the first sock. So let's see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is a five color repeat. So the first stripe, which is 3, would be 3 times as long. The yarn would be 3 times as long as the second stripe, which is 1. And then the colorway length of the third color would be 4 times as long as the 1 stripe. And so it's obviously 3.14, and then it looks like maybe it goes like to 1 or 2 again. And then you can see here's a really long stripe. And I think I've only have 1 pair of pie socks. I think I only have 1 pair. So they will never match because, of course, pie, the sequence never repeats. And what threw me when I was knitting these is that if the number is 0, then that color stripe gets eliminated. So I don't know where it happens on here, but I was knitting away, and I thought there was a mistake because the color was missing. And then I realized that, oh, that's where there would be a 0. So that's a really fun way to knit up a pair of socks. You never know what's coming next. I did these 64 stitch top down with a traditional heel flap and gusset, my usual rounded toe. And I don't think I've mentioned it, but I basically knit almost all my socks on a 2mm needle, so you can assume that's the size needle if I don't say so. And I knit these. I cast them on the last day of November 2018, and I finished them on December 23rd, just in time. I think I might have worn these actually on Christmas. And the reason that I bought this yarn is because our family has a tradition of Christmas pie. So we traditionally, it's going to change this year because we're not having our same big family dinner. But what we did for years is that in between dinner and dessert, we would exchange a small gift, and we called it Christmas pie. We drew names beforehand and bought like a $5 or under gift for someone, which has gotten a little more challenging as the years have gone by because things cost more. But that's why this this name just really appealed to me, and I intend to use my leftovers to knit up one or more. I think I'm actually maybe going to do 3 Christmas baubles out of this yarn colorway, and that will be my Christmas pie present for whoever's name I draw this year. This year, for the first time, well, the last 2 years were kind of abnormal because of COVID, and we weren't allowed to have large gatherings anyway. But this year we are doing a get together on the 28th and just doing appetizers. And so everyone will bring an appetizer to share, and we'll do Christmas pie. And I imagine then my sisters and brothers-in-law and I will all probably exchange our Christmas gifts then, because we used to do it on Christmas Day. So I don't know, we haven't really talked about it, or maybe we'll drop them off at each other's homes and then just open them on Christmas Day. Don't know yet, haven't got there, but anyway, yeah, that's my idea for my Christmas pie present this year. I think that is it for today. As you will have noticed, if you watched yesterday, I did not receive my Fiber Nymph Dye Works shipment, so crossing fingers for today. Once again, I'll put off putting this up until later today, just in case the doorbell rings. So if that does not happen, I will say goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 8. Going so fast. We're already, tomorrow will be a third of the way through Vlogmas. Hard to believe. Anyway, have a great day. See you later.